Welcome to my channel, SL Medium. Please remember that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Well, hello, Divine Feminines. I'm gonna get to it right away. For this reading, I have to admit that for this reading, I will channel much more than I will look at, although I'm drawn to a few things in the cards, but I have to admit that I'll channel a lot more because there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of messages, and I was called, I felt like using one extra deck, I think, for February, for the reading of Valentine's Day. I used another deck also, but for this one, for this reading, I was drawn to, or called, I felt called to use another deck, which is the Angel Therapy. And when I drew the cards, it made sense. So I'm guessing I'm not completely out of my mind. The energies that I get for you, for you DFs, for the week of March 13, there's a lot of energy. It seems to me in the energy, and I believe it was, I'm recording this on March 12th, Saturday, March 12th. So, I think it was 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, that we had the new moon in Cancer, if I remember correctly. Either 2 days ago or yesterday. I'm not sure exactly. But if you go look at Cancerian energy, or if you go look at the description of what is a Cancer, I'm a Cancer myself, so it's easy for me to understand all this energy. But when we're not, when some people out there, not some people, but there are 11 other zodiac signs. So it can be I can imagine that it can be a little confusing for other signs to understand Cancerian energy. I'm not saying that you don't understand it. I'm just saying that if the energy seems a little intense or seems overly emotional, feel free to go Google it. To Google the description of a Cancer, of a Cancerian energy or zodiac sign of Cancer. But what I'm getting from the energy of the cards, I think the sequence of the tarot, the tarot cards that popped out of the deck when I shuffled, I think the sequence really gives a good idea of what's going on in the energy. I'm seeing from beginning to end, I have, and 5 cards popped out. After that, it was done. I got here the World, which is major arcana. I got the 8 of Raphael, which would be the 8 of Cups, the 3 of Michael, which would be the 3 of Swords, the 6 of Gabriel, which would be the 6 of Wands, and a major arcana again, the Wheel, which could be, I'm getting it could be a little bit considered also as the Chariot. But for the energy from this, and then I'll go into more details with the other cards, but I'm drawn to start with these ones, and it's really, it seems the week, I'm starting the week on December. I'm starting the week on Sunday, but what I'm getting from this energy is the week starts off with a possible ending to a situation. Now, when I say an ending to a situation, even though it's a major arcana, it does not mean that it's the end of something big in your life. What I'm getting is it's the end of a significant energy in your life, okay? Not necessarily a situation. Well, obviously an energy is connected to a situation, but I'm getting that it's the ending of something significant in your life. So it can be anything, really. Whatever resonates with you, it's the ending of something significant in your life. And mind you, this is I know I don't repeat it that often, but this is a general reading. It's a general reading of energy. So if none of this resonates with you, then leave it for others whom it may resonate with. So yeah, so basically DFs, we start the week with a significant ending to a situation or an energy, which basically offers like lessons. Now, have we learned the lesson? Have we not learned the lesson? Really, this goes on an individual, it's case by case. But from that ending, then obviously there's a new opening. From that ending, there's a sense of being sort of, I'm getting, being sort of in hermit mode, like needing time off, or needing, I'm getting needing to be by ourselves a lot, to have some quiet time to think, to reflect, and I'm seeing, like, right smack in the middle of the sequence, I'm seeing Three of Swords, which is to release the past. And I don't know if you know about Cancers. I know I'm a Cancer, like I said, but Cancers have a tendency that Cancers are very loyal, but Cancers have a tendency to be very patient, very tolerant, and with that comes the idea that Cancers will give Cancers will give a lot of space for to other people. It will give a lot of space to other people to make sense of whatever situation or whatever it is that they need to make sense of. They will give them a space. I know I am like that. I have no trouble giving space to people to figure out, like, what their next move is, or to figure out what comes next for them. But there's a certain, I'm guessing there's a certain time frame. And when Cancers get tired of waiting, or when they feel like they when they feel like they've given whatever, any kind of situation or anybody, a fair amount of shots, then they can become somewhat impatient or somewhat restless, in a sense that, as a friend of mine would very easily say, it's okay, shit or get off the pot. So, and I apologize for my bad language, but yeah, so that's a bit how I feel, is okay, this energy, this particular energy, this situation has ended, significant situation or significant energy has ended. DFs, you know that from the ending of that situation, you know there's something it's like, you know, deep down in your heart that this had to end. This situation or this particular energy had to come to an end. It had to come to a conclusion somehow, because it could not continue this way. And I feel like during the week, you're in the process, the DFs, we are in the process of letting it go. It could already be done. Okay, it could already be done. It could already be in the past, and like there's no way to come back. But what I'm getting is that, like I would say midweek. That whole part of the energy will be done with, will be over, and then comes the new beginning, comes the shift in energy, comes what feels like what seems like a renewal of some kind, but not the same energy as what we just pushed, as we just left behind. But then again, I'm getting, it all depends. It goes case by case, because all life lessons have a cycle. So it's either whatever you left behind here, you've learned from it, you don't care to repeat that, and you've let divine know that you don't care to repeat it. So kind of bring in the new so I don't have to repeat that. And what I'm getting from this here is obviously, like, it's a case by case, it's an energy, but what I'm getting is, as a general consensus, DFs have learned their lesson and they're moving forward. So there's been there's a shift in the energy, and DFs are moving forward. So that's what I'm getting from this sequence. From the energy, I'm just going to move it back to where it was so I can see the energy of the other cards. From all of this here, I was first drawn to the life purpose cards here, where what I see for DFs is that with the energy going on and the new moon in Cancer, I'm seeing a lot of feelings are kind of surfacing, and there's a I'm getting that there might be a bit of confusion during the week in the energy, a bit of confusion over the energy, because like I said earlier, some of us are not used to getting like mood swings. We're not used to big influx of emotions or a big influx of different things. So it feels like maybe there's some kind of confusion, but remember that whatever happens, divine has got your back. And I'm getting not only divine has got your back, but there's also this whatever it is that you do, and it works in well with the new cards here of angel therapy that you can't see, but it says if you get nervous, focus on service. So it's really, I'm getting like such an influx of emotions that are confusing, and that we're reminded, DFs, to stay in our integrity, focus on service, whether it's at work or with the family, but really focus. I would say, even if you feel a lack of self-confidence or a lack of confidence altogether at work or with your family, remember what your divine purpose is. Remember what your life path, your life purpose is, and just focus on channeling that energy, channeling your energy to do your best in what you have to do. And for the romance angels here, and I'll come back to these hereafter, but for the romance angels here, I'm getting that, and it ties in well with Cancer's, the Cancerian moon. I'm sorry about that. But what I'm getting is really, for this week, considering the influx of emotions, the overwhelming emotions sometimes, or the confusion of the mood swings or whatnot, it's important to remember it's important to remember to step away from drama, to I'm getting you have enough of your own stuff to take care of. So it's important to step away from drama. It's important to invest in your energy, to do what feels right to you. Sorry, to do what feels right to you, DFs. Yeah, it's important to do what feels right to you. And from the 5 guidance cards, there's an energy of trusting guidance. The guidance that you receive, notice the signs, reward yourself, shower of abundance, and a new partner. What I'm getting from these cards, the energy I'm getting from these cards ties in very well with the energy so far. That I'm getting be kind to yourself. Be generous with yourself. Whether it's generous with time, whether it's generous with being generous with time, being generous. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm sorry about that. I had to drink a bit of water because my throat was getting dry. Something to do with throat chakra. Something to do. Yeah, the throat chakra could be connected with some of you divine feminines, which is also a trait of Cancer, a trait of Cancerian energy that some of you DFs need to not only be kind to yourself, but to remember to speak up. Especially in overwhelming emotions. There might be a tendency to let people talk. And not allowing yourself to stand up for yourself, but in a verbal way, to verbalize you standing up for yourself. And this I'm seeing a lot of situations, like work situations, where I'm seeing a lot of work situations where you tend, there might be a tendency to censor yourself so that you don't attract conflict. And that does tie in well with the Cancerian energy, with the new moon, because there's a tendency for that, of censoring yourself. That's what I'm getting. Censoring yourself. I'm sorry. Censoring yourself to avoid attracting conflict. And what I'm getting here from the energy of integrity, I'm drawn to the energy of integrity here, which is to stand up for I was getting to read the text at the bottom of the card, and it says, align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowing of what's right for you. So really what I'm getting from this is when you know something is wrong, or when you know something is not right, which is the opposite of something being wrong, when you know something is not right, and it could tie in with the world here, that the energy of these cards here, when you know something is not right, it's important to vocalize. It's important to verbalize it. And if you feel like, okay, I don't want to attract any kind of drama, I don't want to attract any kind of conflict from, verbalizing what I think of this, then what I'm getting is leave it behind, but disconnect from it. So it's really, if you choose not, in other words, if you choose not to engage in that battle, if you choose not to react to something, not to stand up for what you believe in, not to stand up And if you choose not to stand up and make your voice heard, then leave it behind. And I'm getting leave it behind for good. So there's no turning back. Okay? And what I'm seeing here is, again, this is this is a life lesson, or it could be a significant life lesson for divine feminines, but it ties in really well with the first 3 cards of the tarot that I had pulled, that you know, a situation has to come to an end, or an energy has to come to an end. And it is significant, so significant that my throat is still doing. I'm still having issues. I'm still struggling with it. So it's to really leave it behind. Really leave it behind. And if you leave it behind, as in, I'm going to pick my battles. I'm not going to engage into this, and I'm going to leave it behind, then I'm sorry for that noise. But if you really decide to leave it behind and not look back, then what I'm getting from the energy is that you will be rewarded by divine for either having engaged in that battle and stood up for yourself and verbalized and vocalized and, standing up for what you believe in, but voice it. And it's that kind of crap or get off the pot type of thing. It's either engage in battle and go all the way, or leave it behind and don't come back to it. And that's what I'm getting, the type of energy is. And what I'm getting is one way or the other. If you decide to leave it behind, then we're being congratulated. The DFs are being congratulated. Leave it behind. Divine will bring you a new situation, a new life lesson. And, that book, that book goes on the shelf. It goes in the cupboard. We don't come back to it, or it goes in the fire pit. We don't come back to it. But if you decide to engage in battle, then divine, and this is again, focus on service. It's express yourself, free yourself. It's if you decide to engage in battle, then divine will be right behind you, backing you up. The protection card. Divine will be right behind you, backing you up, and allowing you to fiercely fight that battle. All right, Divine Feminines, I don't know if this resonated with you. I don't know if it made any sense. I know it does to me from the channeling. Like I said, I didn't look at every card, but I channeled the energy. So if any of this resonated with you, if you found a part of your story or your entire story in here, please let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I will move on to the reading for DMs, and I will see you next week. All right, this is Divine Masculine energy for the week of March 13. I'll tell you right now, Divine Masculines, I get a strong feeling that for some of you Divine Masculines, this may resonate more than with other Divine Masculines, because as I was shuffling, I got the feeling, as I was shuffling the cards, I got the feeling that this was meant for some of you out there more than others. So if this, usually I say this at the end, but I'll say this right now. If this reading resonates with you, wonderful, You can share it in the comments below. If some of it resonates with you, other parts don't resonate at all, please remember this is a general reading. General reading of the energy. So this is not a case by case, and there's a possibility like something may not resonate at all. If it doesn't, if it's not part of your story, then just leave it behind. It could be part of somebody else's story. And just so you know, I apologize for the noise, but there's something in the energy from my reading from the Divine Feminine. There's something in the energy that seems to impede Divine Feminines and Divine Masculines in expressing themselves or expressing their emotions, which would tie in really well with the new Cancerian moon. But that's what I'm getting. I'm getting like my throat is scratchy, and it doesn't really happen normally. So my throat is scratchy, and it feels like and I keep getting that there's a great need in the energy. There's a great need to vocalize, to stand up for yourself and vocalize it. So the first energy that that I'm getting from all these cards now, just like Divine Feminine, maybe I will look into a few of the details of the cards, but the first card I was drawn to was love yourself. Love yourself first. And there's an energy of confusion. I'm getting DMs that you're confused, and it could go with the intense, overwhelming emotion that has set in with the new moon in Cancer. But from the tarot cards, I'm drawn to the Seven of Ariel, which is the Seven of Pentacles, which reminds you to be patient with yourself, be patient with the energy in general. Divine is reminding you that so far you have invested wisely. So far you have done the right thing. It's telling you to allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to rest, and allow yourself to be with yourself, to and to voice your opinion, really, but allow yourself also to connect with Divine. This is like, it feels like the energy is all over the place. And from the life purpose, I was getting the energy here of counseling. DMs, you may be good at giving, and that's what I'm getting. You may be good at giving recommendations, at giving advice, at you may be good at suggesting, all kinds of different creative ways to feel better for people around you. But Divine is reminding you to also do it for yourself. So to be kind with yourself, to be patient with yourself, to have a greater connection with Divine, because Divine has your back. And it's telling you, Divine is reminding you to practice, this is interesting, Interestingly enough, I was drawn to this card of practice. Divine is reminding you to practice what you preach. So in other words, practice it with yourself. What you suggest to others, the advice you give to others, do it onto yourself. Like whatever advice, in whatever situation or whatever emotions are coming to the surface, whatever emotions are coming to the surface, allow, like basically, I'm getting an image of, look at yourself in a mirror and tell the person you see in the mirror what you think they should do, or how you think that person should approach whatever situation, whatever emotion, how that person should voice their opinion. If you have trouble sitting down and meditating and really look at yourself in a mirror and go ahead and have a chat with yourself, the same way that you would have a chat with anybody who comes to you for advice. And I can see for a lot of you divine masculine, there's this feeling of, well, can I trust my own advice? Or, interestingly enough, will I respect my own advice? Like if I talk to myself in the mirror and tell the person I see in the mirror, tell the reflection, you should do this, or it's important for you to remember this. Can I trust myself? Or can I trust, can I trust the person in the reflection to actually follow my advice, to actually follow my recommendations? And sorry if you can hear my cat meowing right now. It's not a baby. I know she sounds like a baby, but it's not my cat. My cat is meowing because earlier she ate some plant leaves, and now I'm pretty sure I can bet that she's throwing them up. So you'll probably, I don't know if you could hear her meow, but now you're probably going to hear her get rid of that fur ball. So so to come back to this particular energy is, can I respect, can I not respect, can I trust the reflection to, can I trust the reflection to follow my advice? And obviously when we illustrate it like that, it's one thing. It's one thing to put it in that kind of image, but it's really what it's saying is, can I trust my own intuition? Can I trust my own advice? Can I trust my own expertise in the matter? And what I'm getting from these two cards here, which you can't really see, but it's be honest with yourself and trustworthy guidance. When you follow your own recommendations, okay, when you give yourself in the mirror, you give yourself recommendations or suggestions or advice, where, first of all, ask yourself where that advice comes from. Because if you're not sure whether the person in the reflection will follow your advice, or if you're not sure if you can trust that person, remember that that person in the mirror is you, or a reflection of you. So if first of all, ask yourself, where does that advice come from? Why do I give that advice? If I'm not sure I can trust myself to follow that advice. And once you find where that advice comes from, then, and it ties in with trustworthy guidance, and this one here, which is the High Priestess, it's your intuition. Okay, so once you figure out where that advice comes from, then, connect with divine. Connect with divine, or check with your intuition. Connect with divine to see if that advice aligns with your life purpose, or if it doesn't. So there's a great deal of activity here, but I'm brought back to this one here, this card here, which is practice. And what I'm getting is practice what you preach. And the card of speaker here, you can't see it, but it's the card of speaker. What I'm getting is that it ties in with assertiveness. And it's important to know the difference between assertiveness. Important to know the difference between assertiveness and arrogance. Assertiveness is when you stand up for what you believe in, but when you stand up for what you believe in, it's really everything that's connected to your core values, which is love yourself first. Okay, so when you assert yourself, you really stand up for what you believe in, for your core values, for what is in alignment with your soul, what is in alignment with your life purpose. And it's important to voice it. Now, I would say I'm getting a bit like what I got for Divine Feminine. And it's important to choose your battles. And that's what I'm getting also from these two cards, which I got the Knight of Gabriel, which is the Knight of Wands, and the Eight of Gabriel, which is the Eight of Wands. That, and it sort of ties in with the energy from the beginning, that there's like the energy seems to be all over the place, which ties in really well with the new moon in Cancer. But what I'm getting is really pick your battles. And I usually don't read the energy or in reverse, but here I got to really leave it in reverse, in a sense that this in the upright is the Knight of Wands, and it's confidence, enthusiastic, courageous, and charismatic. Okay, so in reverse, it means the opposite. Okay, so I'm getting that there's a blockage of energy here, and it ties in with really choosing your battles, choosing the energies that you want to engage in. Okay, I'm drawn here to this card here, which is be willing to forgive. And what I'm getting here is be willing to forgive yourself. Okay, Divine Masculines, you have incredible gifts. And as I said at the very beginning, I get the feeling this reading might be focused more on like particular, it feels more like particular, I would say particular percentage of the Divine Masculine population, because it feels like some kind of personal reading. But what I'm getting is DMs, you have gifts, you've been given gifts, special gifts to bring into this world to help heal this world. And what I'm getting is that at times, and especially this week, at times the energy is so intense and situations are so chaotic, and there's a sense that I'm kind of getting a sense of like, was I born in the right era, or I should have been born in another era where things were so different, where things would have been so different. And it's important to remember, to remind yourself that you chose to come, your soul chose to come into this physical world in the body that you have. It chose to come to learn lessons. And it's important to forgive yourself as a human being, because we're all humans, but it's important to forgive yourself for seeming to be so slow at learning your lessons. Okay, it's important to forgive yourself, because I get this sense, this feeling of, my gosh, why do I keep repeating the same mistakes? Why do I keep repeating the same thing? And you, like, basically Divine is reminding you that you keep repeating the same mistake because you haven't learned the lesson. So really, it ties into this card, which is change in direction. Look at all your past mistakes. What is the common denominator in all the past mistakes? What is the common denominator? What is it that keeps me repeating that same mistake, keep repeating that same lesson? Why is it that when I finish the book, I flip it over and I start over again? Why is that? I don't understand why that is. And what I'm getting is it has to do with picking your battles and reminding yourself that whatever advice you would give others, give it to yourself, and connect with Divine to know whether or not you can trust. You can be honest with yourself, or you can trust yourself to follow that advice. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I thought this was going to take much longer, but hey, this is the energy that I'm getting from here. So I'm guessing, to recap, it's pick your battles, leave what doesn't serve you behind, remember that you have invested wisely, be patient with yourself, be assertive, be honest with yourself. I mean, voice your opinions. When I say voice your opinions, it's really based on your core values, based on what feels right to you. If you're not sure, practice what you preach, be honest with yourself, and connect with Divine. Connect in doubt or in happiness or whatnot, and forgive yourself. Really forgive yourself. This is what I have for you, Divine Masculines. If this reading resonated with you, I'm surprised, because I'm like on the 49-minute, and I'm like, wow, okay, maybe this should be my new way of doing things. But if this reading resonated with you, if this channeled reading resonated with you, you can comment down below. Please feel free to share, subscribe, and like I said, comment. Yeah, that's what it is. And remember, if some of it resonated, some of it didn't, remember, like, you take what resonates, leave the rest behind for other divine masculines who might resonate with all of this. All right, that is it for this reading. And I will see you next week. So just remember, this was the reading for March 13, channel reading for March 13 for DMs. And I will see you next week. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. If you like this video, please feel free to click the like button, share, and subscribe if you have not done that already. Any additional information you might need is in the description box below. Feel free to email me if you do not find what you're looking for. Videos should be posted as often as on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, so consider hitting that bell to be notified. And on that note, I will see you next time.